The plane crash happened on our air, and during the duration of my time on the air, which was approximately 2 hours, we made an effort to communicate all our thoughts and opinions. We discussed a variety of topics, ensuring we covered every possible comment we had in mind. In essence, we left no stone unturned. And today, as a result, 38 people lost their lives on that plane. 29 people were injured. I don't know if any of the injured are in serious condition. But it is really a very sad event. Today, a national holiday has been declared in Azerbaijan. It is not clear why the plane crashed. There are different scenarios. Shall we hear from you? Yes, in Azerbaijan.
Today, Azerbaijan is enveloped in sorrow due to a devastating plane crash. The tragic event has captured the attention of the world as we still grapple to comprehend how such a catastrophe occurred. Reports indicate that the doomed aircraft sent distress signals and urgently sought emergency aid. A multitude of officials were present at the airport, waiting anxiously to extend their assistance. This scenario provided them with an opportunity to bear witness to the unfolding tragedy, capturing the harrowing moments on film. Let us delve into the beginnings of this calamity, revealing what has been unearthed and what still remains unknown. The loss of life in this incident is heart-wrenching, with 38 individuals tragically perishing. Among the victims, Azerbaijani citizens bore the brunt of the casualties, while the majority comprised Russians. Additionally, the ill-fated plane carried Kazakh-Kyrgyz citizens. However, amidst this tragic backdrop, there emerges a glimmer of hope. 29 individuals managed to survive the crash, an astounding and miraculous occurrence. As journalists covering such news, it has been a rarity to witness an increase in the number of survivors. Typically, it is a grim recounting of an escalating death toll. The revelation of more survivors uplifted our spirits, and it was indeed a joy to report such news. Concerning the current state of the airplane, information is scarce. It had taken off from Baku and was on its way to Grozny, the capital of Chechnya in Russia, and it was 6:49 in Turkish time when it took off, and at 8:20, just as it was approaching Grozny, the plane suddenly changed its course, went in the opposite direction, and flew to Aktau on the opposite shore of the Caspian Sea. He was heading to Aktau, Kazakhstan. He was going to land at the airport there. And at 8:35, a distress signal was seen to give a distress signal, an emergency distress signal. See, only 15 minutes later, that is after he reversed his direction, after he decided not to land in Grozny, 50 minutes later, he gives a distress signal again here. Russia's Federal Aviation Office, Russia, made a quick statement, which is a remarkable detail. You can see the moment it changed course and the moment it circled. According to Russia, the plane collided with a flock of birds over the Caspian Sea. Now this is not a clear situation. It is not a clear scenario. It is not a clear scenario. It may be a possibility that stands out or a possibility that is wanted to be highlighted. We do not know this. So at 9 o'clock, it enters Kazakhstan airspace. It reaches the city of Aktau. And look, it starts circling in the air. 3 times the plane circles in the air. And after about 28 minutes, after the 3rd circle, it hits the ground. The first point of contact with the ground is the wing of the plane. And when the wing of the plane makes a very hard emergency landing, the fuel of the plane catches fire after contact with the ground. And this leads to an increase in the loss of life, especially because there is a fire in the front part. Maybe if there was not such a hard landing, you can see that the fireball appears. And let's underline this detail in an important way. The plane does not catch fire while it is in the air. So this is a situation that prevents speculation such as whether a bomb was placed in it or this happened. When the airplane's wing makes contact and catches fire, the airplane breaks into 2 pieces. This incident especially affects the passengers at the back. Surprisingly, some of them managed to walk away without even a slight injury. The reason we said that what happened and what is known has not been clarified in this way is because the examination of the black boxes is very important here. Unfortunately, we are talking about 2 pilots who are very experienced pilots who have flown on this route many times before since both of them lost their lives. It is not possible to take their statements, but the black box flight records are expected. This will be the most important point in the investigation. Of course, when we talk about scenarios, we said one of them is that a flock of birds in the air may have caused such an accident to result in such an accident, it is stated that there is a technical problem on the plane. Was there a malfunction? It was a new plane. There had never been any problems with these planes before, so this is a little bit of an elimination. Ukraine has a claim that at that time there was a very violent mutual airstrike between Russia and Ukraine. Yesterday, Russia launched ballistic missiles against many cities in Ukraine. Ukraine also targeted Chechnya, and Grozny was attacked with missiles, while Russia attacked Chechnya with cruise missiles and drones. And Ukraine claims that Russia's air cooling systems mistakenly targeted the plane in that attack. As we said, this has not been made official, but one of the points that has been brought to the forefront is that there are holes in the fuselage of the plane, which is associated with this. It is said that if a flock of birds hit the fuselage of the plane, there would not be so many holes in the fuselage of the plane. But what should be done at this point is to wait cautiously for the result of the investigation. As a matter of fact, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev said, in his message, he said that it is too early to talk about scenarios, that the investigation is ongoing, that Azerbaijan has suffered a great disaster, that this accident was a great disaster. So for the time being, we are waiting for the first findings of this investigation to be published. Azerbaijani and Kazakh authorities are conducting it in cooperation. Immediately upon Aliyev's instruction, representatives of the relevant state bodies from Azerbaijan went to Kazakhstan and completed their work there. The wounded are expected to be brought back today. We know that the condition of the wounded is good. We know that the condition of 3 people is very serious. This process will continue, but we are also talking about an international tragedy. Of course, the national mourning of Azerbaijan has really made our hearts bleed and saddened, but there are many dimensions. There is Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, so it is an issue that we will talk about a lot.
It's really interesting, I mean, when you visualize that route on the map. As you said, the possibility of Chechnya being targeted is a big 8 boots there at that time. Yesterday, retired pilots and experts were on the air. Of course, everyone says something else.
Let's not skip a point. It was also announced that the plane returned from Grozny because of fog, so it was said that it could not land at the airport in Grozny. When I read the Russian press, for example, Kommersant, there is information that there is actually no fog. The weather is cloudy, but there is also information that there is no fog. As we said, there will be a lot of speculation at the moment. Scenarios will be drawn. But the clarification of these, the statement to be made by the official authorities, is more important than anything else. There is a waiting in the moment. There is no official statement from the official mouth on this issue. There is no situation to draw a clear reason for the moment.